Is music beautiful? Yes, music's beautiful. It's beautiful in that it can spiritually transcend anything else and take you somewhere. So depending on your mood, time of the day, circumstances, whatever. I mean, music can get chemical things going in the brain. I mean, it's interesting. It's a drug. So. We're in Birdman Sound, which is my record shop that I actually started as a mail order business in 1988. When I started Birdman Sound, the mandate of the store was basically dealing with sort of a higher level of consciousness type of music, whether it was jazz or funk or psychedelia, experimental, rock. If we look at the reality of my existence, just with Birdman Sound, 6 days a week for 24 years, I listened to music in a time period that's generally non-stop from 10 o'clock in the morning till 6 in the evening. And I've been at CKCU since 1985, the community radio station at Carleton, based at Carleton University.
It's a UK outfit called Kogumaza, much anticipated by a band out of Peru. 7 that spells from Zagreb in Croatia. Very limited pressing of a debut album, I believe, from a band called Tuber.
Success seems to be this thing that everybody wants to have as a measurement these days, and I really don't understand what does success mean. I mean, it means different things to different people, and I think a lot of people put a whole lot of stock in success only meaning you've got a lot of money in the bank. I'm somebody that's never had a lot of money. I don't necessarily consider myself to be successful on the strict definition of success, but I feel self-fulfilled. I mean, the majority of the best music in the world that's ever been released has never been recognized as such. And some of the greatest artists that have been consistently making great records over the past 4 or 5 decades are people that nobody's fucking ever heard of, except for musicologist type people. Deep shit, obscure stuff. And because it's obscure, it doesn't mean it's shitty. And because it's obscure, it doesn't mean it's the greatest either. You can hear the hunger and hear the difference in these records, but you have to have a good knowledge basis in terms of a wide variety of listening to be able to come up with that stuff. I guarantee you that the majority of people that are out there, and it's evident by the biggest festivals and the biggest this and that when it comes to music, most people would be quite happy to see, the vintage Beatles and the vintage Rolling Stone and Fleetwood Mac Mach 3 and the Madonnas and the fucking Lady Gagas and the Elton John circa 1975. They'd like a steady non-stop diet of that every time they step out of the house to get entertained, whether it's at a festival, at a stadium, or at a bar, because that's about the extent that most people like to be challenged. And all that stuff is like a big, fluffy pair of pajamas and slippers. I mean, it's comfortable. Our band is the band whose name is a symbol, and that is not really as weird or as deep as it may sound. It was sort of born out of the ashes of a previous band that the bass player, Mark McIntyre, and myself were in for about 4 years. We made a couple of albums, and we kind of hit on the idea, because my last name was Westhaver and his was McIntyre, that we'd use the M and the W connected together on top and bottom for what essentially is the symbol of the band. It's an upright M and an upright W joined. And there's a big do and don't about that too. Never call your band a symbol. Well, whatever. I mean, we did tough bananas. So currently the band is myself, Jason Vaughn, Dave Reeford, Bill Guerrero, and Nathaniel Hurlow.
So then I'm in this drink, and I was like, oh, I'll kill some time. I'll go down to Innis Road and get a couple of fucking bullshit supplies I need for the farm. Yeah. Innis Road at 5 o'clock or 4:30 on a Monday afternoon. It was like, what have I done? I picked another portal to hell this time.
I would say probably what got me hooked on playing in a band is maybe just basically boils down to the camaraderie and the shared interest and the shared vision of whatever your vision happens to be with what you're doing musically. You were sitting down there at rehearsal, for instance, and halfway through we take a break and, somebody says, fuck, wouldn't it be great if we could play here and have 1,000 people come and see it and everybody fucking lost their shit and we sold, 500 records and everybody's like, yeah, that'd be cool. But then, what are we going to play next? Because that's just bullshit. You think you're cool because you're playing in a rock band. I mean, there'd have to be a cool aspect to it because generally speaking, playing in a rock band for the most part, unless you're really fucking into it and a sadist, it's a waste of fucking time because you're never going to get anywhere with it or not, But if you're the one that's in there recording that record that sounds like something you've never done before and you love it, and the people that are immediately in your life are digging it, and your band digs it, and you can do it, then by all fucking means do it.